Your eyes aren't deceiving you. It's her. The famous singer, Robin. Well, first of all, can I just say that this had nothing to do with me? I'm just an unlucky bystander here. The family can testify for me. If you don't believe me, just ask anyone in the Bloodhound family. They hate me and they hate the IPC, so they'd never lie. This is not where the crime happened. What I showed you was a memory. The most basic light cone manifesting tech. Authorized by the Garden of Recollection and owned by the IPC. Did you really think the Galaxy Rangers were outsiders this whole time? Penacony has made a solemn commitment to protect the safety of anyone inside a family dream. Any person in distress will be forcibly awakened and safely returned to reality. What gives them the confidence to make such conclusive statements? Because behind this promise is the harmony. The family's Dreamweavers link up their minds together to construct an unbreakable defensive line. Breaking through this line of defense to create death in the dreamscape. Not even a memo keeper could do that without the family's permission. Who could have done it, friend? The only one is her. The girl who calls herself a Galaxy Ranger. An imposter. An unsought guest. An emanator who hides her true identity.
Hola.
Ifrit's death was a foregone conclusion. And Robin? Her misfortune was staring right at her. Who will be the next to die?
Hostia.
It's fine. Listen to your gut. Building trust always takes time, and I'm willing to wait. I just hope you realize that wherever that legacy is concerned, covert plans are already underway throughout Penacony. Everyone's got their own agenda. Careful you don't get stuck on the wrong side. If I were you, I'd keep my distance from Acheroonnn. After all, any schemes out in the open are always going to be better than a monster in the shadows, right?
Who's to say there isn't an even deeper conspiracy lurking beneath the surface?
Memo Keeper, I think our little deal is finished.
Aventurine is telling the truth. This memory is a real one, and there's no sign of any distortion grafting on.
The IPC is not the Garden, and there are real limits to what they can actually do, but you know all this. Friend, let's not beat around the bush here. The thing is, I want to reach out personally to team up with the Astral Express. I told you I'm just not interested in scrambling for the legacy. I just came to Penacony for work. I'm here to retrieve some lost property for the IPC, if you catch my drift. I'm talking ownership of this frontier prison. This has all become a bad debt thanks to the cancer of all worlds. The IPC has tried sitting down for negotiations time and again, but the family wouldn't even take our calls. You have no idea how difficult these people are to deal with. Put it this way. They've hushed up the existence of death before, so they can definitely cover up any news about Robin's death. It'll just quietly float off like a bubble and pop.
Este güey es un hijo de puta,
Nobody ever being the wiser. That's not fair, right? So then, friend, I need your help. I have but only one goal. The family's front door is like a high wall, and to tear the whole thing down, I'll have to dig out a few chunks first. Once I find a weak point, the IPC will have plenty of means. Now we have our chance. So long as we can get to the truth behind her death, we can have justice for Robin. While also gaining a valuable bargaining chip for bringing the family to the table. Truly a once-in-a-blue-moon opportunity. I've been investigating and making lots of friends all over Penacony precisely for this very moment. This tragic news would be extremely bad for the family, so they'll be doing everything they can to stop. But I trust that there are still a few factions that remain exceptions. And that's why I need you all. The reputation of the Astral Express precedes you, and the Harmony will give you the fairest of appraisals. You get to find out really what happened and seek justice, and I get to put it toward completing my mission for the IPC. It's what you call a win-win situation. But don't worry, just head back and talk things over with your companions. That navigator is really smart. She must understand the value of this deal. Look, here's my contact details. If you come to any conclusions, call me. Oh, and take this. A thorough investigation can always use a little more funding. Don't mention it. So long, friend. I really am looking forward.
Aventurine just sauntered off. He really doesn't mean to force it, but something still seems off.
What now? What are your plans?
Black Swan. What is she thinking?
On the surface, this doesn't look like a bad deal for you. But he doesn't know about Miss Firefly yet. But, judging by your reaction, he may have noticed something going on, and deliberately shifted topics to the... That's quick thinking and very sound logic. Aventurine is no fool, and working with him, definitely. That... Anyway, be careful out there. There's more than one way to blaze a trail. As for the other question... It's all happened so quick. Come, this way. It's a short walk. Don't get lost. This way. This is where we part ways. All of this is like a nightmare. Unfortunately, the remembrance doesn't lie. What we just saw is the reality that happened, and it won't fade from our minds just because we wake up. But follow your heart and don't be afraid. We all walk through this world casting shadows of different lengths. And ultimately, all we leave behind are precious memories. Ah, hold on just a sec.
Chale. Bueno, para mí a lo mejor puros cosas de agilidad.
There you go. A small parting gift. If one, I also pay great attention to the ways of the world, then I've something pride. What fascinating memories will you...
Bueno, la verdad es que está bien, sinceramente. Está muy bien. Ifrån Nagaro.
A family rep. Is Himiko okay?
Well, isn't this a dream?
La familia. No como The Boys.
So much has happened. I should take a moment to gather my thoughts and...
Better unsheath that blade now, Ranger.
Do you still dream, Hunter? Of those slain by your hand?
It appears
You're still alive. You still have room to make a choice.
choice.
Vatora's fire demon. Even if you...
Ranger, we come from the burning forms.
Your companions don't seem to...
They are my children and my flames.
Why?
Because on the path they have emanated, you can destruction eat.
Even if the answer...
What is important is not the answer, but that it exists. Just as even sweet dreams may be born of the void, the soul.
All right.
You shall witness the
A bottomless dream. This blade remains in its scabbard not out of pity or... I'll reveal the truth. The hunt. May death be the end of your guiding you back to the waking world.
Hostias.
I still see them in my dreams. Hold it. Your time hasn't come yet.
my time.
I've seen many clever disguises that can conceal appearances, but they can never cover up who a person really is. And you're no different. You had no desire to kill the Trailblazer. You only did what you did to drive me and the Memo Keeper away, but... why? Did Destiny's slave make you do it?
You know, Elio.
I thought this is just the kind of thing that'd get written into your script.
My script has always been brief. Other than that, anything beyond that is unnecessary. He knows my nature. There is but a single destiny from which no one can escape. And until then, I hold the privilege of choice. However, you appear to be ignorant of this, so it's time for me to inquire. Who exactly are you?
Not your enemy, perhaps.
That's not what I asked.
I don't deserve your curiosity. Loners wandering the cosmos always have their secrets. Take me. I'm wanted by the IPC, so it's little wonder that I know something about the Stellaron Hunters. That's all. Maybe I can help.
What reason would you have for doing that?
I tend to forget things. Which is why, rather than memories, I'm accustomed to using my emotions to capture what I normally wouldn't otherwise. So... I know who is inside that cold armor. How about it? Ready to take off that armor and sit down for a talk?
It's not yet time. I don't need help, but I can give you a suggestion that would make things better for you and me. If your goal is the Watchmaker's legacy, then go look into the family. Not only are they covering up the existence of death, but they're burying the past and the truth about what happens inside the dreamscape.
Already on it.
And the Astral Express is no enemy of yours.
I know that. I just never expected to hear you say it. What's next then? The Trailblazer's been taken by Black Swan. Will you go look for him?
No need for that. No harm in mentioning that Elio's only given me one instruction. Get all of the Astral Express
Buscar el legado.
to track down the
Muy buenas tardes,
Crown.
hola Julián, ¿cómo estás, brother?
I tried settling this in an easier and more direct way. But as you can see, here I am, confronting you. I failed. Can't ever go against the script.
The so-called impossible is merely something that has yet to happen. That's it. Before we split, can I ask you one more? Is there anything else in your script about me? I'd like to know what kind of footnote I get to leave in that future foreseen by destiny.
Unfortunately, not a thing came up.
I knew it.
Hang on. I don't.
Don't. What?
Your first question was, do you still have dreams about everyone who died because of you?
Hostia.
I don't. Never have. I was born without the ability to dream. I live for this cold, harsh reality. For a little light. And to burn. To keep
Hostia, esa me suman sin vida, bro.
burning. Until I turn to ash. So, I really envy you.
Is that so? Then you're already living in the waking world.
Hostia. Sam está muertísimo, bro.
We heard about Miss Firefly from Black Swan, but we never expected Miss Robin to...
I'm sorry that I couldn't be with you then.
Reality cruises on in serenity, while undercurrents bubble up from the dreamscape. Just like that memo keeper said. Stay strong, everyone. We can still do what we can for them. Starting with finding the murderer.
Let's recap everything then. The Trailblazer just reminded me of something. March, do you remember what that family rep who negotiated with us said?
Indeed, we trust that the Nameless has nothing to do with this. And we also beg each of you to help assist the family in verifying the identity of the deceased. That's how it was put, in reference to Miss Firefly.
Looking back, he seemed a little evasive at the time. And he also failed to mention anything about the earlier murder, too.
The family's planning on covering up all news about Miss Robin's death. If news gets out, Penacony's going to turn into a bloodbath.
But the murder that followed closely after was obviously beyond their anticipation. The family had to try and turn things to their advantage by bringing in reinforcements from outside. The Charmony Festival is nearly here. They must be snowed under.
It may also be that Miss Firefly's murder had so many witnesses that it couldn't be covered up. So they went with the flow and let more people on the scene to control the situation. After all, the nature of the two murders is fundamentally different. The family's first protective measure should be against malicious actors among the guests, such as that IPC envoy.
Indeed. He was particularly concerned about that Galaxy Ranger.
Are we missing the forest for the trees here? I always felt that Aventurine's reasons for accusing Miss Acheroonnn were highly subtle. Can we believe him?
At this point, I'm afraid the only ones we can trust are ourselves.
Look, let's try to gather intel first and then list all the possible outcomes we can. Then we go through them, eliminating contradictions one by one. The fewer facts remaining, the closer we are to the truth. I've still got this sense of foreboding. It's like we're stuck in a whirlpool, spinning around that legacy even after everything that's happened.
This time we're playing the role of a real detective. But before we start, what are we—
As I see things, the family harbors no ill will towards the Astral Express. If they didn't trust the crew, plus, this is the family's turf. Teaming up. As for that Aventurine, well, I'd like to hear your thoughts.
He's complex. He deliberately slow-played his hand. He appealed convincingly to both reason and emotion. It wasn't still. It's good to have contacts among all this uncertainty. Aventurine showed his skills, and we also need to keep a certain distance from the family. Never let them get too close. Teaming up with the IPC helps balance that out.
So you suggest—
Yes. It's risky, but we can only wait until both—
I get why, but there's a whole lot of bad guys and girls around here, and I'm worried about getting stabbed in the back. No, I can't— forget about it. Just let me keep an eye on him.
Then, could you please reply to Aventurine?
Easy.
Looks like Aventurine is happy with this outcome. Let's tell everyone about it.
Aventurine said something. He accused that it was a groundless. Maybe Aventurine's... However, you've met her many times now. That fits the stereotype of a galaxy. They're eccentric, unpredictable.
Aventurine's goal. The existence of death. I'm just... He's clearly a...
I hope it's because... Yeah, everyone's still... what a...
Looks like Aventurine doesn't need anything else. Let's turn our attention to the fact.
Among our current... One thing I'm curious...
How about we split off?
Worth focus...
Huh?
I would... Honored guest, could you come out for a second?
I'd be embarrassed too, getting stared at like that.
Forgive me. My name is Welt Yang. I'm one of the crew members on the Astral Express. I believe you've met my colleagues.
Welt.
Is there something?
First, don't you want to know my name?
I already do, Miss Acheroonnn. You're a prominent...
What are they saying about...
Some claim that you're the real culprit behind these murders. That the Annihilation Gang's tragic fate at the banquet was a result of your...
The Annihilation Gang?
Ifrit of Everflame Mansion.
Tragic fate. That Duke turned his dying body to flames and sacrificed his life as a martyr. He was a determined and heroic pathstrider. Not even a villain should be disparaged like this. And what's more, there were plenty of suspects invited. They really think that a blade is more dangerous than that black hole.
Keen intuition. Not even so you must surely know, Miss Acheroonnn, that peering into a black hole is not a wise move. As a potential threat, your knowledge of us has reached uncomfortable depths. Reveal your true identity and intentions. Otherwise, brace yourself for gravitational disintegration.
That shouldn't be necessary. But if it makes the Nameless feel less defensive, I'll be happy to abide. Believe it or not, Galaxy Ranger, Acheroonnn. Those are the names I go by to this very day. My trip to Penacony is solely to fulfill an old, final request. I'm here for the Watchmaker's legacy. And that's it. I think I've been honest enough.
Still unwilling to reveal your true identity?
It's not that I don't want to. It's just that I can't.
Okay.
I've come so far.
La verdad es que está muy interesante la historia,
that in just a few words. Everyone has their own unspeakable past. Secrets that they don't want to be revealed. And I won't be asking any more questions. Such as why the Astral Express is roaming around the cosmos with a Stellaron on board. Is he okay? That memo keeper didn't do anything, right?
He's fine. Let's stick with the topic. Gaining my trust all depends on how much you're willing to reveal.
I've run around many different Penacony dreamscapes just to try and find that legacy. And during this period, I came into contact with quite a few guests. In the process, I gradually came to realize the secret of Penacony may be closely related to the Trailblaze. That's why I've come to ask for your help. I don't have enough proof yet, but I'd like to speculate something. The source of all tragedy lies within the family. If you could trust me, we could find the proof to support this claim together. Mr. Yang, I think you've come to the same conclusion, haven't you?
Let's leave it at that. For now, I'll choose to believe that you bear no hostility. Share your findings with me, and me alone. I don't want vague conjecture to interfere with other people's judgments before we find solid proof.
Mm-hmm. By the way, would you like something to drink? Before we go, how about 2 cups of Wake the Heck Up? No, 4 cups. Because the conversation coming up will last forever.
I've been watching her closely for a while now, and the first invitation was in the banquet hall of the hotel. She just sat in one corner, keeping silent, chugging down a couple cups of Wake the Heck Up. I told her it's a pungent...
Really? But I don't taste any difference at all between them.
The guest rooms are charmingly minimalist, an aesthetic you share, Miss Acheroonnn. It's a cinch, this music box. The invitation received by the Annihilation. You see, memories of you are not yours alone. They travel in other people, other things. I know much. The Annihilation Gang, that band of desperados who all disappeared after meeting you. What exactly happened to them?
Gradation 12. Dreamscape 12. Father, I dedicate this to you.
Well done, Dubra. Wherever they go, shall be met by annihilation.
There it is. It's hazy, but it's Ifrit's voice. This is the residual memory from when the invitation was first delivered. They were abruptly interrupted.
They sought refuge, children of...
She won't be necessary.
The Everflame Mansion has set out on a journey. Those poor people. They have... Memory recovery is going well, but slowly. She'll be here soon, and time is short. There's nobody else here, so... What happened? The memory after that is blank. How is that possible? This music box fell into Acheroonn's hands, and she brought it to Penacony. It's like it's been erased. Who's done this?
Who are you? Who are you?
It's... No.
Oh, a memo keeper. My name is Constance. A pleasure to meet you. We were supposed to meet in Penacony and spend an unforgettable time together. But that seems unrealistic. Dahlia's not welcome on the banquet star, and I don't need a coming-of-age ceremony. And you want her secret? I can give it to you, and then you can enjoy the banquet for me. I wish you unforgettable.
Oh. A phone. Wanna listen in?
A few days ago, The IPC made an announcement. Under the watchful guidance of the Marketing Development Department, and in accordance with the Interstellar Peace Charter, the independent Sigonian sovereignty has hereby been established, and shall take a legislative seat at the Interstellar Congress. The formation of the Sigonian sovereignty is of great historical significance to the Sigonia system. This move...
Sigonia 4 is located in an unclaimed zone at the intersection of the Denise, Prothean, and Dorneau star clusters. This is why very few intelligent species have made this planet their home, dividing themselves into several tribes to eke out nomad lifestyle.
Sigonia. Sigonia. Ravenous eye of the storm, spurned by all the gods. Land of rock, but not water. Lightning, but not rain. Blood,
¿Quién es
but
Aventurino?
not tears. You beat us with your falling stars. You lash us with wind and storm. You chew us up with the cracked earth. You promised us a land of honey, yet yoked us beneath a sword of bitterness. Oh, Gaiathra Triclops, if thou can hear me, please open up thy 3 eyes and gaze upon this child. When you took his father, my child was still sleeping in my belly. And where my husband went, I too soon must go. I don't ask for a peaceful death. Just for you to tell me, does the baby swaddled sweetly asleep? Does he dream of his mother's heartbeat and the sound of falling rain? Please tell me whether this life is all just a fleeting dream. Otherwise, why would this child be born to face impending death?
Mommy! Mommy! Mommy, the rain. It's raining.
Raining? Raining.
It is raining. It's true. Those outworlders weren't lying to us. They really did summon the rain. Mommy, we can leave here. We can go back home.
Back home. Gaiathra Triclops. You came. Do you hear that? Thank you. Thank you. Darling, listen. This is the sound of rain. On the day you were born, the sky also sent down a gift like this from Gaiathra. Such a lucky child. Such a blessed child. Just like your name. A gift from them to Avjen. My boy. May the goddess Gaiathra close her eyes 3 times. Keep your blood in Let your journey be forever peaceful. And your schemes forever concealed. Welcome to this sad world, Kakavasha.
Con el nombre de...
Oh, heavens. I must have drunk too much Soul Glad.
Just as you guessed. Nobody outside knows about Robin's death. There aren't even baseless conspiracy theories. They're still streaming the rehearsal for her ceremony. Using a stand-in, I guess.
Of course. Who could imagine that death would actually descend upon the idyllic dream created by the family? To be honest with you, I didn't believe it. I even tested it a few times myself. Until I discovered that I couldn't actually die. That's why I'm convinced that there are a few big secrets lurking behind the scenes.
Then you must have heard about the Memory Zone meme. When I graciously deigned to establish connections with the Oak family on your... Besides Robin, there was... another body. I don't know the exact details, just...
2 murder cases? I told you something seemed off about the Nameless. This murderer is a psycho. It's just that... what should we do? Let me think. It's too rare an opportunity.
Incredible gambler.
There are plenty of chips, but it'd be best to choose... Robin is what she calls mute. She has lost her voice, and while most people can't pick up on it, you and I cannot mistake that sound. Not produced by any voice box, but rather by the resonance of the harmony. If that girl hadn't gone hoarse from singing practice, there'd only be one possibility. But she died.
A complete and utter loss. Incidentally, it seems to have resulted in your rather undignified arrival on the interrogation stand. There were eyewitnesses at the scene, and the family...
Well, things aren't looking too optimistic.
A probability, but if you simply can't... That man wants to...
Who?
Sunday.
Is this a public hearing or a private trial?
If it were the former, it would hardly...
Fine. Ratio, I'm convinced. Without any further ado.
We're here. The Dewlight Pavilion is the Oak family's fortress and a place where heads of the families meet to discuss great plans for Penuka.
Fortress? I like this metaphor. I dealt with the warlords of the Amanic.
This mansion nominally belongs...
Hey, Doc.
Who's to say I...
We'll see.
Follow me and I'll...
This is hardly enough for a seat at the table.
Hey, you two! That's a place of
I was requested by Mr. Sunday to bring him the suspect. My name is Ratio. He should have mentioned it to you.
Oh,
Excuse me.
the...
Right.
That's...
It's...
A dead end?
The door is...
I mean...
For security reasons, on the previous occasion, and it...
Well, maybe we should do the same. A reward with no risk? I'll take it.
Netmark Festival! Time for a good old counterattack!
Beneath the waters lies an endless abyss.
Ready for another?
On the still waters of oblivion, I weep for the departed. This too shall fall. Another blood debt repaid.
¿Cómo puedo cambiar eso? Sí, sí. Tengo 50% de probabilidad crítica, 84.
Six nightingales facing... They are.
How can Nightingale...
There are no eagles.
Just as I thought. Here's the correct answer.
A truly miraculous discovery. Perhaps I should offer you the chance to join...
Really?
I was being... Do you need me?
Yeah, you're right.
Hold on.
Huh?
No, but this door is locked.
My friend? Did you really make an appointment with him?
It's a trial. You got to prove your worth to Sunday before you... If I'm not wrong, we...
Oh.
Get serious. I've no time for games. Let's head back. The hint is probably in that prominent sandpit.
Wow. That's an enormous sandpit. I'd love to build a tall building for myself. Once I have enough savings. Oh, look.
There wasn't a gap.
Oh, with your brilliant
Of course. Let's look around. When I see it, I will know it.
Fine. Fine. Why do I feel that we're pursuing a degree in burglary now?
Found it. This is it.
No. No, no. No, estás a caer. Estás a caer. ¿Te quieres meter para adentro? Uy. Mierda.
If I were you...
Oh, this reminds me of one of those Oh, look. The gap is closed. And it...
Indeed.
Oh. Actually... Oh, fine. Let's find a way to open the door.
Stream 4.
No.
Stream 4.
Hello! Welcome to the Golden Hour Base Mod. I am an Oaks.
And tell me about the tour.
I am an Oaks model. Gen. The nearest check-in spot. Please look behind me. Capsule.
Ten. Pues te la mano, te lo voy a quitar.
What's up with that? Now the family's toys are trying to frame me? I didn't do a thing to it, Doc. You've got to be my witness. Oh, capsule machine. So, I was right. These models have interiors that look exactly like the real buildings. The only difference is that no one lives in them. Funny that Sunday puts a miniature that makes him seem like a giant by comparison, right where he can see it first thing in the morning. Insecure much?
¿Qué te dije? La mano no. Ah, bueno, sí. Te lo voy a quitar, la pinche pluma, Síguele, te voy a quitar la pluma.
Stream 4. Gleam of old blades.
Oh, one of the fragments flew upstairs. I'll need to use the pinhole machine to flick myself up there. But it's tough. Oh, Doc!
There's no need. Finally, a moment of peace.
Ready for another? Netmark activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
Destined for oblivion. I weep for the departed. It too shall fall. Zero points. On the still waters of oblivion.
Ready for another? Netmark Markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
I weep for the departed. It is a fall. Stream forth. Gleamful blades.
That's it. Pleasant moments of solitude are always fleeting.
Oh, you're back. Thanks, Doc.
Why?